venues of the YOG. It's the biggest one in the 4 venues. There are also 3 other venues called Green Venue, Technology Venue, and City Venue. Now he is graduating in Argentina and he is prepared to go to college in Argentina. We are honored today to invite him as our guest to be a Chinese volunteer in the YOG. He's providing some volunteering jobs for our Chinese squad. We're now at the 3rd YOG in Buenos Aires in Argentina, and we're now at the Youth Olympic Park. As he mentioned, there are 4 menus, 4 parks. This park that we're in right now is the biggest menu, and it will host most events. We can see beside us, this is a map of our park. Let's introduce to us simply which venue will be holding which event. Now let me introduce to you the one below here. It's a swimming stadium. Aquatic sports will be holding here. And this is a European stadium. Weightlifting and karate will be here. This is the venue for fencing. It's called African venue. This is the track and field venue. Jumping and sports in athletics will be held here. This is Asia venue. Judo and wrestling will be held here. And this is the Pacific venue. Taekwondo will be held here. And this is the American venue. Gymnastic sports will be held here. This is the venue for hockey. He introduced to us about our location and the park. This is the main venue of the 3rd YOG in Buenos Aires. These venues are named after the 5 continents. He first introduced this swimming stadium. And now we have a news flash. Last night, which means in this morning in Beijing, the 2nd match day, the Chinese team has gained 2 medals. And one of them is the first gold medal in this Olympic, and our young athlete gained this in the 100-meter swimming match, and on the second day we gained 2 golden medals. We all know that YOG doesn't set a medal board to promote the interconnection and communication between athletes, because YOG intends to foster the friendship and cultural exchanges between international athletes. And cultural exchange activities are happening right here. Our youngsters can participate and communicate with each other. As Bingbing introduced to us for the Olympic Park, yesterday our Chinese players gained 2 medals in the stadium far behind the picture. There's 2 chimneys up there. Now in the morning, it's about 10, and we can see people are gradually coming to this place. It's been open for an hour, and there are audiences, travelers, and youngsters who are here to experience the Youth Olympics. After all, it's the first time for Buenos Aires to hold YOG. As we all know, the YOG started on the 6th in October. The opening ceremony was conducted in the landmark of Buenos Aires, and please send some video clips of the opening ceremony. This is the first time of an outdoor opening ceremony. It is not in any stadium. It is combining the Olympics with Buenos Aires landmark. We know that this landmark is significant for Argentina people. It's like the Great Wall in China, but not as famous. But it's something people all know. We can see on the opening ceremony some fantastic performances. They presented some Olympic events on the monument itself. We know that we have over 4,000 athletes from 206 countries, and our Chinese team holds about 120 players. So as we can see, this event is international. It has an amount of languages and cultures. So the job of volunteers are more than major. My job is basically translating between Chinese, Spanish, and English. I think this is very important because we need to make contact for them about the assignments of venues and cooperation projects, and some athletes would come and ask us the directions. 就是举行一个会议，然后我们会帮他翻译一下。所以说，其实我们可以看到，其实志愿者不仅仅做着一些交流方面的工作，比如说翻译方面的工作。Like a taekwondo meeting, and we would help them to translate it. We know that volunteers serve as a bridge for communication, and this is what the Youth Olympic intends. Although we're holding a sports event, we are trying to facilitate the communication and exchanges between different nations and countries. So by this opportunity, I want to thank volunteers from many nations, including China, Brazil. They are guaranteeing the smooth ongoing of our Youth Olympic. We can see this is the mascot. This is Pandy. I know it's a jaguar. So why the organizer has chosen this jaguar as the mascot? We chose it because, first, to show the enthusiasm of the people. Second, we want to promote the protection for endangered species in North Argentina, such as jaguar. It is obvious that pandy is a jaguar, and there are less than 100 jaguars inside of Argentina. We can see a lot of young students are coming into the venue, the Olympic Park. This one is lining up. Can you tell us what this is holding? This is the fencing stadium, the Africa Stadium. There is a match about to start, so people are starting to go inside. Dear audiences, we are now in South America, the capital of Argentina, Buenos Aires. This guest beside me is Huang Bingbing, a volunteer in this Youth Olympics for China. He will show us around in the main venue of the Youth Olympic. He will take us to a simple visit. We have gone past 3 venues, and this is African venue, as you said. And there are also other venues, such as the European Stadium. Why are there so many students every day visiting this stadium? What activities attract these young children and students? First, we can see all these students because schools would organize activities for them to visit, and there are staff who are in charge of taking them in and help them and show them around. It's also a tie to boost communication. And there are many activities that young children can participate in to give them a feeling of being athletes. It doesn't only provide venues for sports. The young athletes are around 14 to 18 years old. And it also helps people, no matter athletes or young students or children, to feel the Olympic spirit, to give them an atmosphere of competitiveness. But now we're not feeling the competitiveness. We can more feel the communication and interaction between different athletes. Volunteers are very important in every Olympic Games. They serve as an important role in organizing the events. They are communicating with local athletes or staff. So why did you choose to be a volunteer in this Youth Olympic? First, my mother told me about this volunteer job. She proposed it to me. I have never participated in an event like this, so I want to challenge myself. I could know more cultures and I could learn from it. I think this is very meaningful, so I signed up for it. I know that for Olympic Games, if you want to be a volunteer, it's not a very simple task. So can you share with us how did you go through the interviews and how did you become qualified for this? I signed up through the internet and I put my personal info, like the languages I can speak. I sent the resume to the organizer and they would choose some appropriate personnel, and they would divide them into different job posts. Like I am in the translation team, and there are also other volunteer groups who organize or do reception. Now we can see we can see the torch, the main torch in the Olympic Park. It is burning. The Olympic duration is from the 6th to the 18th. So after the 18th in October, the flame will be put out. Is there any features to this torch? Yes. This flame comes from a relay connection from in America. It's not around the world, but it's all around America, so it's a conception of the Earth Village. Every Olympic Games, we are impressed with the torch because the torch goes through every country around the world and it finally goes to the host city. And Bingbing has told us this torch has gone through every state in South America. So this is the first time that this place holds a Youth Olympic Games. What is the menu right in front of us? We can see this one right in front of us. It's a hockey field, and we can see there is a team playing on it, and there are audiences watching it. So I think it's an ongoing match. As you can see, this is a hockey field. In the distance, we can see there are a number of audiences. Now it's about 10 a.m. on Tuesday, so our spectators are coming in to watch their favorite matches.
还有 CGTN 的各位网友，大家北京时间晚上好，我们现在是在阿根廷的首都布宜诺斯艾利斯。
Dear audiences, good evening. We are now in the capital city of Argentina, Buenos Aires, bringing you live with the third Youth Olympic Games. The third YOG is ongoing in Buenos Aires, and now this is a formal match day, the third one, and we're honored today to invite our volunteer, the 19-year-old young lad. And he's very kind to show us around the Olympic Park. This is the main venue in the 4 venues. We all know that this YOG learns from the 2020 Tokyo Summer Olympics and 2014 Nanjing Youth Olympic Games. There are 32 events and 230 events. Chinese athletes will come here for training. When we go to the track and field court, we may see some Chinese athletes training. And we will witness the cultural exchange happening right here.
青奥公园里，在做一个简单的一个探访和 个游览啊。那么我们可以看到，其实边边带这个牌子上面还是挺有
Now we are
有很多这个
just traveling inside the
不
Olympic
同的
Park.
这个比赛的这叫什么？这叫
We can see that
挂针，挂针。
the tags.
别针有很多不同的别针，其实参加过
There are
这
different
个
kinds of
奥运会的各位
stickers.
网友，其实都对这个比赛现场这个文化是非常熟悉的。我记得在2016年的在巴西里约奥运会的时候，我也是收集了很多这个
I think
类似的别针。
our audiences are familiar with this kind of things. In 2016, in Brazil Games, I collected a lot of these.
我们在这边也看到这些收藏习惯。
对，我们会就比如说
I think audiences and travelers who are enthusiastic about these will collect this as well. When I go translate for maybe Chinese athletes, maybe they would give us these, and we would go exchange these. Like these little badges. This is my languages. When athletes see these tags, they will know what languages do I speak, and should I translate for them. So these two tags are very obvious. You can see the languages that he speaks. It's a reminder for athletes and delegations. If you speak Chinese or English, then you can find me to translate for you. Now we're right here. What is this stadium? This is the Asia Stadium. Events like judo will be happening here.
对。那么我们刚才也一直在强调，当然我们也插播了一个奥运会青奥会的昨天这个比赛赛事的一个快讯啊，就是
We have been reiterating.
游泳小将孙家俊在100米的蛙泳中。
Also, we had this news flash about the Chinese delegation winning 2 medals, and our young athlete Sun Jiajun has gained the first golden medal in the whole game. And 4 Chinese female swimmers just won the second gold medal. As we mentioned, the meaning and function of Youth Olympics is not competitive athletics, but to build a cultural bridge for exchanges. We do not have a medal board, so our patriotic enthusiasm cannot be flamed up by it. Like we can see from these banners, the slogan of this YOG is to feel the future. How do you understand this slogan?
这个未来呢，指的应该对于我来说，我的理解是，这个未来指的就是我们的青少年。
然后他们毕竟是他们的未来。For me, the future means the youth.
所以我们是要感受到这些青少年的力量。
Because youth is the future.
然后。
And the youth can create the future for us, so we can feel the power of the youngsters. We can see the liveliness, the interactions, the cultural exchanges, and we can see a beautiful, beautiful future that they're building on. But for our young volunteers, I think you can also experience the future by providing services as volunteers. As we mentioned before, the opening ceremony was on October the 10th. It's the first opening ceremony outside of sporting menus. About Olympic Games, the word that we mentioned the most is innovation. So the opening ceremony of the third YOG is actually a very innovative one. This is the third day of the Olympic Games. So it's the first time in South America, and it's the second Olympic game in South America because the Summer Olympic Games took place in 2016 in Rio de Janeiro in Brazil. So, what do you think the highlights and innovation about this Olympic Games? It's different than normal Olympic Games because it's youth Olympic Games. Because the atmosphere is very lively because its audiences and athletes are both very young. So aside from training venues, people can freely visit and they can get in touch with the athletes themselves. If they are willing to, then we can conduct some cultural exchanges, and we can talk about each other's countries. This is the innovation that I think here exists. We know that a lot of matches, venues for matches are open to audiences, and the audiences, no matter they are students or youngsters, there's a innovative thing. This wristband. We can see the wristband that our cameraman is wearing. This is another innovative point in this YOG. They can swipe this wristband and watch all the games. As I mentioned, this is all about cultural exchanges, so there is no ticket fee. Of course, the audience number is limited, but it's free of charge. No matter who you are, as long as you want to know, want to learn or understand, you can participate in it. There are a lot of other meaningful highlights in Youth Olympics. There are a lot of athletes and coaches bringing young children to experience the glamour of matches. A lot of parents are enjoying this project very much. Although their children might not be interested in this particular sport in the future, but they get to interact and experience the sports here in the venue. So we are bringing the sports to younger children. This is for track and field. This is jumping. And athletes are training. And hurdles. And we can see all these athletes, they're training right here.
那么刚才呢，我们也是跟着我们中国志愿者，我身边的这位19岁年轻的小伙子，也是绕着我们青奥公园，也是我们第3届布宜诺斯艾利斯青奥会的。
We have walked around the Olympic Park, the main venue in the third Youth Olympic Games. I think we have covered half of it. I want to thank you for your companionship to introduce the venue for our audiences.
青奥会，甚至是所有的奥运。
And also he has shared the volunteer service in all Olympic Games. So volunteers are one role to facilitate the smooth ongoing of the Olympic Games. So during our live streaming, we have shared with us that Bingbing signed up to be a volunteer, and the process of signing up and how to be a volunteer in the Youth Olympic Games. And we have saw the slogan, see the future, and now we're concluding our live streaming today. Thank you, our audiences, for watching. So the third Youth Olympic Games is ongoing in Buenos Aires, the capital of Argentina, and it will last until the October 18th. And our reporters here will bring you up to date about the new sport.